Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to this very special edition of our podcast for Iceland Media. As you can see, we had to get dressed up for this one because it's a special night where we are now presenting the awards for this past season. So, without further ado, let me first welcome our guests here. So, we have none other than Mr. Ahmed Mobeen. Mobeen, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, brother. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah. I like the
Why are you not dressed out? What's going on?
I am. I have my Iceland shirt on.
I feel overdressed now. What the heck? I thought we had a plan here. All right, maybe the next guest is also dressed up. Let's see. No, he's not dressed yet.
I wish I got the memo on that one. If you look,
I got my velvet suit on. I got my puggy here. You know what? I haven't worn this in 18 years since I got married. So this is the first time. My wife looked at me very funny when I was going through the closet looking for it.
Well, I mean, if I had it my way, this is the way I would have dressed up my wedding. So let's just put it that way. You look spiffy, though. I might.
Oh, thank you.
Great.
You got to have the glasses and everything.
Oh, RF, you're a good host.
Irish, the only one awkward. No, it's not awkward. You people are awkward for not wearing it. Anyways, all right, boys. So today we're presenting the awards for this past season, and some of the awards are based on stats, and some of them are based on selection. So when we get to each one, Mobeen will explain what the criteria was for each one, and then we'll present the awards. So without further ado, let's get into this. So the first one is obviously welcome to the Iceland Hockey Awards. So the first series of awards is based on stats. So the number one is the top scorer. I mean,
right. So this award is awarded to the player with the most points. All of these awards that you can see for tonight, the player, to be eligible for these awards, you have to play at least a minimum of 6 games during the regular season. The award for top scorer is awarded to the player with the most points during the regular season. If you're familiar with the NHL awards, this is an award that they have as well. So the person who puts the most, who scores the most goals.
All right. So on that note, let's see. We kind of already know this because if you look at the stats, you'll know exactly who it is. And this year was none other than Mr. Hamza Chaudhry.
That's correct.
Habibi, what do you have to say about his season he had?
I mean, the numbers speak for itself on this one. I mean, this award is definitely based on numbers, so there's no question about it. The top scorer in this one is no other than Hamza Chaudhry. So well deserved. The numbers speak for itself, and 26 points in a season of where we are today is something to be proud of.
Absolutely. So congratulations to him. I mean, that's quite the tally. 26 points is very, very impressive, mashallah. And I have to say that someone here predicted that at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to say who, but it's usually the best dressed man in the room. Okay, so next award. Let's make this easier on ourselves, shall we? Next award is lowest goals against average. Mobeen?
So let's talk about those goalies. This award is awarded to the goalie with the lowest GAA, stands for goals against average. Again, if you're familiar with the NHL awards, you want to be thinking about the William M. Jennings Award.
Right. And for this year, the winner is... Sorry, were you going to say something, Habibi?
No, I was just going to announce the winner, but go ahead.
Okay.
Yep, Ali Khwaja. So again, the number based on statistics, and I think we touched on this yesterday on yesterday's podcast in terms of the work that that Ali Khwaja has been providing for that team. So well deserved, well acknowledged. I think the hard work speaks for itself in terms of the work that he's done and championing that team to where they've become to today. So congratulations, Ali, for that award.
Very good, very well deserved too.
Arif, if I could just jump in quickly from a goaltender perspective. To see a goalie average 1.67 goals against average, according to the stats, the other team needs to score. If a class gets at least 2 goals, they're pretty much guaranteed a win. So, pretty solid numbers by Ali Khwaja, and congrats to him.
Absolutely. And move on to the next one. Most goals.
Most goals. So this is what I call the superstar award because everyone remembers the person who scores their goals. So it's awarded to the player with the most goals. So if you're thinking about the NHL awards, you want to think the Rocket Morris Richard Trophy.
And this year's winner is, once again, Mr. Hamza Chaudhry.
Yeah. So again, congrats to Hamza. I mean, with 26 points and considering that most of those points were scored, was accumulated by 14 goals in the season, is really impressive. So congratulations again, Hamza, on receiving this award in terms of the most goals within this season.
We had a little debate going on in the media team, which is if we were to pick a number that represents a 50 goal campaign in our league, what would that number be? And some were thrown out, and I think the general statistical consensus was around 12 to 15 goals. So Hamza getting 14 goals, we could think of that as a 50 goal season.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no question in terms of like the power that team has, and being catapulted by a person of Hamza's caliber scoring 14 goals is definitely something that again should be applauded and appreciated for sure.
Absolutely. And the new one that I think we have this season is the Playmaker Award.
Right. So as a media team, we came up with a new award called the Playmaker Award. This doesn't have an NHL equivalency, but we figured that in order to get the goal, you need someone to give you the ball in the right spot at the right time. So we wanted to acknowledge the players who actually set up those goals. So it's awarded to the player with the most assists during the regular season.
And this year, it has been Yusuf Ahmed with 19 assists.
Correct, and this is just going back again to the firepower that Team Khalas has. I mean, with Hamza, scoring 14 goals, getting 26 points, there is definitely a Scottie Pippen to all that, and the Scottie Pippen in that one in terms of getting all the assists is definitely Yusuf Ahmed with 19 assists on that one, so well deserved in that one for sure.
What's crazy is I think he has more points. Just his assist is more than any non-green player.
Again, it's an attribute to the whole team in itself. I mean, their goals for has definitely been superseded with relation to all the other teams for sure.
Absolutely. So this is another new one, power play specialist. Mubin?
Right. So this award doesn't have an NHL equivalency per se, but we decided that when you get scored on the power play, especially if you're the team shorthanded, it's like the equivalent of getting dunked on because your team plays shorthanded. Now they're tired. Now they've been penalized. Now they're tired, and now they also suffer on the scoreboard. So we wanted to recognize the player who took advantage of his opportunities and potted the most goals against and made the other team pay for their infractions. So it's awarded to the player with the most power play goals during the regular season.
And this year it has been Basim Kagzi from Team Iman. He had 3 power play goals. So congratulations, Basim.
Yeah, and I think it's a good award to be recognized for different special units and in terms of like providing what those special teams provide for certain victories. So 3 power play goals in terms of special teams and what special teams bring to our component of the game is definitely something that should be recognized. So congratulations, Vasim, on that award.
Absolutely. And the next award that is presented as a team award, which is the President's Award.
Right. So this award, if you're familiar with the NHL award, it's actually very similar. It's called the President's Trophy in the NHL. It's awarded to the top team in the regular season. We decided in this year to give accolades to the first overall team because it takes a lot of coordination from the GMs, the leadership, to get guys to show up on time. That is, and to also show up and to follow the game plan. So we wanted to recognize a team that will exhibit all those qualities, and we wanted to just recognize the hard work that they put in so far throughout the season. Now, having said that, being first overall heading into the playoffs, there's a lot of expectations. So I know you've already switched to the winner. So that's my cue to let Ibrahim take over.
Well, I mean, there's no cue. I mean, the award was pretty much it's awarded to the team that finished first. So I mean, Team Khalas was that first place team. So it is the President's Award, and the award naturally goes to the team that became first place.
Absolutely. So congratulations to Team Class once again. Looks like they're sweeping the night here.
Not intended, but deserved.
Well, these are all
Yeah.
statistically based, right? So it's not like anybody picked them. So okay, now we go to awards that were determined by the OC. So go ahead, Mobin. Maybe you can quickly explain what these are going to be.
Right. So there's two awards in particular that, as an OC, we wanted to make sure the right player uh, who are defined by these criteria for the following awards get recognized. So we usually, as an OC, take a hands-off approach. We don't vote on any of these awards, but for these two awards in particular, we wanted to make sure that these players embody the core principles of Islam, and we wanted to make sure that they are recognized amongst their pair, so they could serve as a role model in our league, but also throughout the broader Muslim community.
Nice. So the first one is the award is determined by the OC, as you mentioned. And the first one is this one.
Right. So it's the Nassim Butter GM Award. This is in honor of the brother who passed away, Nassim Butter. It recognizes the work of the top general manager who has helped promote the Islam core values and principles, combined with his team's overall performance during the regular season. If you're familiar with the NHL awards, you want to be thinking about the Jim Gregory GM of the Year.
And this year, this award goes to
So I just want to say, I think we as an OC, we think all the GMs deserve this award. So it's just all the work that comes in preparation with with getting a team together, getting your WhatsApp groups together, formulating all the just the preparation for the game. But from what we've heard in terms of what's going on in terms of preparation for each game from from Sajid in terms of preparation for the game, making sure that everyone's on time and just seeing what the leadership that's been provided. This is the short list that we came up with, and this is the award that we decided on as an
yeah, and if anybody talks to Green, they'll tell you that he keeps everyone very organized, on time, not just from a punctuality perspective, but also mentorship. Right? He's taken younger players and really helped them and kind of given them roles and responsibilities, and it's great to see him giving.
It's not to say that all the other GMs don't.
No, it's just this one's recognized for it, right? Absolutely. The next award is this one here.
Right. So again, as an OC, we decided this award. Again, we wanted to select the individuals that best display the Islam core principle. This is the Brotherhood Award given to the player just to have exhibit the best type of sportsmanship and Muslim conduct, something we really value at Islam. Again, that's one of the core principles of why we started this league, to bring a safe place and competitive, while at the same time maintain a competitive environment for the Muslim community. If you're familiar with the NHL awards, you want to think about the Lady Bing Award.
And this year it is. Any guesses? Chat group is very quiet here. So we have Abdul Nafia Zubairi from Team Taqwa. So he was originally on the yellow team. He got traded halfway through the season, but we wanted to recognize him for his great sportsmanship. He's even done things like where he's helped other people, secure rides who didn't have it and stuff, even though he didn't have to. So, it's great to see.
Yeah, it is great to see, because we've obviously seen Abdul Nawefa throughout the years, and just watching him grow and blossom to the player that he's become. It really is good to see, and really good to recognize, being, like you said, in terms of like facilitating ride issues and just kind of staying behind and making sure that players that don't have a ride have a ride, and just like you said, exhibiting that Muslim brotherhood that we like to see, that that fosters that that brotherhood camaraderie. Is something that we feel that should be recognized.
Yeah, and even when you talk to Nafia, just on the floor, whether it's in the game or in warm-ups. He always has a smile on his face, always very, very chatty with everyone. So it's great to see. So
And
mashallah.
coachable.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I've been trying to get him to score a goal all season. He scored one when I wasn't there, so it doesn't count.
I
But
just hope he
still,
scores one tomorrow. So
I hope so too. All right. So the next award is, let's flip through here. These are awards determined by the media. Moby, you want to give a little explanation of
Right.
this?
So as you guys could see, all season long, we were trying to do things that are innovative. We implemented the podcast, and I copied this concept from other professional leagues such as tennis and tennis and other leagues. So these are awards that aren't your traditional awards if you're just used to the major four sports: hockey, football, basketball, or baseball. So these are awards that still recognize great achievements, but they're different in its nature based on the awards typically given out in the four major sports.
Yeah, and before we announce the awards, just keep in mind these ones are kind of for fun as well. So don't take it too seriously. It's half of it is for fun, but also to give people recognize them for certain things in the season. So what's the first one here?
The first award is the most outstanding goaltender performance. So as a goalie, I could tell you that you could have an awesome game, but it could be overshadowed because your team might make a mistake. It's no fault of your own, but so it just takes away from the goaltender's performance. But it shouldn't stop us from recognizing. A lot of times, you as a team, you recognize that the goalie played well, kept us in the game. We were being dominated, but the scoreboard says otherwise. So we wanted an opportunity to show those goaltending performances that had a really outstanding single game performance during the regular season.
Yeah. And this one goes to, and this is for a one single game, right?
Correct. It's for a single game goaltending performance.
And we have the winner, Mr. Khalid Mufti. And I think this was specifically for week 8 when Khalid just played lights out for the win against Sabr. Probably one of the best games I've seen Khalid play.
And an award one other than someone from Ikhlas, so well deserved for sure.
You know what? It's been Ikhlas and Iman. There's 2 awards from Iman.
I will say this. So as a goalie, it's super hard to be named as one of the 3 stars. I don't know what Tony has against goalies, but congrats to Khalid Mufti for being recognized as the best player that week, and we also recognize him as having the most solid game out of all the goalies for this season.
Absolutely. All right. This one is called Proving Everyone Wrong.
Right. So, in the draft, that's where the GMs really have to do the homework and to really find that diamond in the rough. So we wanted to recognize that player that went lower, but is showing more than what his draft value. So he's going above and beyond where he's drafted. This award, the criteria is awarded to the player drafted 6th or lower that has the biggest impact for their team in that class.
Yeah. So this is someone lower in the draft who really outperformed their expectations. And this year, the award goes to Foster. He's usually on the chat group, but I don't see him today. So
yeah.
So Faisal, mashallah, he's had a really good season so far with Sabr. He's usually playing on the second or third line, and despite his role on the team, he still put up 7 points in 9 games. And it's not just a matter of those 7 points, but it's the criticality and the importance of those. A lot of those points, they didn't come on a blowout game. They usually came when the team needed a tie, the team needed the tides to change, or even a game winner. So, congratulations, Faisal, and it's a great season so far for you.
Yeah. It's the wooden sticks.
Wow.
All right. So this one's called the Old School Award.
So from transitioning from wooden sticks, it's a good segue to talk about the old school. So these are players that are age 40. We like to call them quote unquote veterans that had the best regular season in that class. So we wanted to recognize the veterans of the league that still are putting up numbers at a high pace and just appreciate their superb performance.
All right, and this one year's winner is drum roll Masters. Who's this guy?
The well-dressed player in the room.
I put my glasses on for this. I gotta look.
Can we get an Arif Khan interviewing an Arif Khan about this award?
Well, first of all, thank you for the award. I don't know if I should take this as a compliment or a backhanded compliment.
I think you should take it as a compliment. I think it is, just a tribute to the award itself. I mean, guys our age, I mean, one day I hope we'll have an over 50 award, and I'll probably be the only one winning that award. But at the end of the day, like, guys our age, in terms of like guys over 40, we still have our engines running, and the work that you've done in terms of like providing that level of caliber of where we want to be at that age is something to be recognized. So I think it's a great award and a great tribute for the work that you do, Arif.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I know I've been removed from the season, but if you look at the stats, he is top 5 or top 4 in scoring, and some people are trying to make the argument that he should be considered. Well, we'll get to this award for the league MVP. So even though this is an award for people aged 40 and over, his numbers are definitely put him in competition with the younger generation as well.
Absolutely. So it's almost like it's the reverse of the Rookie of the Year trophy. It's like the old geezer of the year trophy.
Just take it, Arif, and run. I mean,
fine. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take it and run.
Run. See, that's the problem. We can't run. When you're over 40, it's more like a jog.
Well, I mean, some of us still have our engines going, but just take it and take it in good strides. Like you said, these awards are for fun, but
absolutely,
in its seriousness, it is something that should be recognized.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Goal of the season. And I think this one had the most debate amongst the jurists. So
right.
Explain to us what this
is. It's pretty much clear. Goal of the season. It's not an award I like as a goalie because goalies don't get embarrassed. We just let in a goal here or there because the team makes a mistake. But some purists say a goal is a goal, regardless of how it's scored. But other people say that no, there's certain goals that have more stylistic points. So we're catering to that group for this award. This is the highlight reel goal of the season so far during the regular season. We wanted to recognize the player that really does cause our jaws to drop on the ground after seeing the goal.
And this year, this award goes to Mr. Asim Patel for his goal in the first game, actually. So the goal of the year came in the first game. Unfortunately, we are having some issues where we can't play it. But if you go to our Instagram page, you will see it. And also, I believe week 1B, if you go to that highlight reel, you will also see it there. So this was a fantastic goal where he pretty much deked out 2 guys. And this last guy, we won't name who he is. He's gotten enough flack for it. And then one-handed tech. Now, the ironic part is the goalie on whom he scored on won the best goalie performance award as well. So it's interesting how that is.
And to finish that story off, Arif, he won it against the same team. He won it against Yellow.
That's right. So the goalie did get his revenge, if you will. Some of the other goals that were recognized, I believe RC also had a beautiful goal against Ikhlas, where he went from a face-off, ran it down, and then while falling, one-handed jab into the net. We also had Ahmed Khalid, who also had a nice one-handed tuck while falling down. So there were a lot of really nice goals this year, but.
All right, if you want to mention your goal, go ahead.
No, I didn't mention.
We won't hold it to you.
There's no proof of it because nobody bothers taking my stuff.
No witnesses.
Let's talk about the backhand goal he scored.
No, but this was a beautiful goal he scored. So if you haven't seen it, please go and.
It really was a good goal. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I saw that highlight reel a couple of times. And even when you broadcasted in one of the podcasts earlier in the season, I think it received a lot of views in terms of like how many
Mhm.
times it was viewed. But it really was, as I'll use Sandy's word, a dirty goal.
Um, it was so good that I was on the floor, and then when we went back to the face-off dot, the ref looks at me with this face, is like, "Can you believe he just did that?" So that's a pretty big
It was
compliment.
the McDavid goal, taking out everyone and just kind of doing what he needed to do.
Absolutely. All right. So next one. These next set of awards are determined by the GMs.
Right, just circling back to the goal of the season, I just want to shout out Isawi for that awesome footage. That's really professional level photography 101. But going on to these awards now, awarded by the GM. So again, I want everyone to be aware, for the players and whoever's watching, that OC doesn't actually have a hand on determining who wins these awards. We actually take a hands-off approach. We just administer the process. So these following awards were voted by the general managers.
Mhm.
All right, one of my favorite awards is the Best Goaltender Award. This is given to the goalie adjudged to be best at this position based on the votes. Again, for all of these awards you've seen today, they have to play at least 6 games. And if you're familiar with the NHL awards, this is the Vezina Award.
And this year, the best goaltender award goes to
Well, we have to find the finalists first.
finalists. Okay. Oh well, that was kind of, sorry,
Yes.
a little anticlimactic. So let's do that first.
Yeah. So
Let's look
the
at
the,
the
fi-
finalists
the
at least.
yeah, the finalists of this award, and again, use the chat group, guys. I mean, the finalists for this award. So
Yeah.
the finalists in this one are Nader Ahmed from Team Rida, Ali Khwaja from Team Ikhlas, and Khalid Mufti from Team Iman. So now the drum roll.
All right.
And
Hopefully, there's something at the end of this drum roll. So let's see. Such an amateur operation we got here.
Ali Khwaja.
Once again, Mr. Ali Khawaja takes the goalie of the year award.
Yeah, and again, just to reiterate what Ahmed Mubin was saying, I mean, this was determined by the GM colleague, our GM colleagues, in terms of you know us providing a short list, them providing the finalists, and it was really determined, I believe, by a point system. Mubin, correct me if I'm wrong,
Correct.
in terms of a point system based on all the casted votes of the GM. And again, there's no question in terms of what we discussed yesterday in terms of the work that Ali Khwaja has provided for his team and where his team has been successful to this day.
Yeah, definitely very well deserved. And it was tough because the other names you saw, they all had a tremendous performance. And you know what? Ali's performance sometimes gets buried under just the overall success that Ikhlas had with their scorers and their defensemen and whatnot. But like we've said on the podcast before, even after you get through all of those guys, you still have to deal with Ali, and he's been exceptional.
Yeah.
Next award is Best Defenseman.
Right. So this is a similar award in terms of the James Norris Memorial Trophy. It's given to the best defenseman who demonstrates throughout the season the greatest all-around ability in this position based on the votes. There could be a lot of interpretation. What exactly is the best defenseman? Is it the one that gets the most points, the one that is the most solid in the defensive zone? Again, it's up to the GMs to vote based on their criteria of what they think the best defenseman is.
And the finalists for this award are Yusuf Ahmed from Ikhlas, Shahid Jogiad from Sabr, and Adil Chauhan from Team Iman. Yeah, Habibi, any thoughts on these guys before we announce the
Well,
final
all
one?
three of them are well deserved. I mean, as you can see, two of them are GMs. One of them is a first rounder. So, I mean, they all exhibit the top caliber, of the league. And all three of them are prime defensemen, obviously in their own right. So, all three of them are deserving in my vote. But the ironic part is, these votes were voted amongst themselves. So it'd be interesting to see, what the verdict is. I know what the verdict is, but if we can get some input from the viewers. But
I
yeah, I
think
mean, they're all deserving in their own right.
Absolutely, absolutely. So everyone seems to be saying Yusuf. So let's find out who it was here. All right. So the top defenseman was indeed Yusuf Ahmed. 4 goals, 19 assists, and 23 points. So we seem to have a special poster here. Compliments of his teammate Sakib, who did a great job with these posters. I still question why only his team member got the special treatment and everyone else just got a stock photo, but that's a different conversation we'll have with the media team later. But once again, Yusuf, congratulations. Extremely well deserved.
Yeah, and it just goes to show why this award is even better recognized, is because this was recognized by his peers. So it was a short list based on his peers, and again, with the OC taking that hands-off approach, being recognized by your own peers actually probably holds a little bit more value to Yusuf as well.
Yeah, and he did most of this performance on one leg since he was injured most of the season. So that's even more crazy.
MashaAllah.
All right, the next award is the top defensive forward award.
Right, and again, this mirrors the Selke Award given out by the NHL. This is given to the forward who best excels in the defensive aspects of the game. Again, based on the GM votes. So not necessarily the forward that's going to put up the most points, but the forward that is most responsible defensively and preventing their counterparts on the other team from scoring.
Right, and this year the finalists are Farouk Sani of Iman, Tahir Maru from Sabr, and Naeem Akhtar from Haya. Typically, I think in the past, who are some of the winners for this? Just so we can kind of calibrate. I think it was
Akib Malik
Akib has
has
won
won
it a whole
before.
bunch of times, right?
Right. NHL, it's Datsuk, I believe.
Yeah, I don't recall, but I could. Sorry, yeah, it was definitely a finalist for that one for sure.
And I think Ibrahim Hindi might have been either a finalist or a winner in the past as well.
Yeah. So it's the Guy Carbonneau Award. Let's see, or Bob Gainey. Naeem Akhtar. That's not Naeem, but
It's a representation.
at least put a defensive forwards picture, not a defenseman's picture.
At least he has his height, that's for sure. And Mukhtar is definitely as tall, if not taller than Chara, but for sure. Again, these awards, I just want to reiterate, were shortlisted by the media and voted by the GM. So it's one of those things where the GMs got the short list in terms of what the criterion was, and Naeem Akhtar definitely suited that bill for sure.
Yeah, and I think one other thing we should mention is there's a lot of people who end up playing both defense and forward. In fact, like Tahir is a great example. Farouk is a great example of that, where their defensive awareness is so good that teams will draft them as forwards, but then put them on D. Ali Murtaza also unfortunately falls into that category. These guys that are just so good defensively, it's a curse. They have to go play D. So the fact that we're trying to recognize their defensive abilities, hopefully they get more recognitions for that. And I'm not sure if this is their last award or not.
This is the last award.
Yep.
Okay. So go ahead, Mobeen.
Right. So this is the regular season MVP. It's given to the player to be the most valuable to his team based on the votes. If you're familiar with the NHL award, this is a Hart Memorial. Or if I could put it in my own words, this is simply the best player in the entire league.
Pretty much. I mean, we all know what MVP stands for. So, and the finalists this year are Hamza Chaudhry. Obviously, all the points he's gotten. He's had a breakout season. And also we have Adil Chauhan, who since the trade to Iman has just skyrocketed his points and also really taken a team that was in turmoil and brought them to the top of the standings until the last game of the season, but still very, very impressive. And of course, Yusuf Ahmed, who, we haven't been able to stop cheering for. He's just been a phenomenal talent to witness. So all three finalists are extremely well deserving. And now we will find out who the actual winner is. Oh, boys, here we go. And the winner this year is Hamza Chaudhry. I don't think you need to debate too much about this one. 14 goals, 12 assists, 26 points. He's been a key factor for uh, their winning ways, if you will. So I'm glad because I called it, but no, it wasn't
But
because of me. It's because he's so good.
yeah, and I just want to reiterate, like, what makes this award specifically special for Hamza is that this was an award that was actually, again, just to reiterate, voted amongst his peers.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about all the statistic-based goals in terms of statistic-based awards and how it was very easy for us to decipher that. But getting an award that's really acknowledged and voted amongst your peers is really takes it that next level, because it's not stat based. It really is based on a fair, equitable decision amongst your peers. So kudos to you, Hamza. You've definitely stepped up your game, and your peers acknowledge it. We acknowledge it. I think the entire league acknowledges it. So when you collect your award, just bring your pickup truck, because you got a lot of awards to hold up for sure.
Mobeen, I don't know if you know, but what's the Iceland record in terms of points? I think he's pretty close to it. I think it's 30, if I'm not mistaken.
And I think that that record is currently held by his GM Sajid Ayubi. So
that's right. So
it's actually pretty cool to see that the mentorship of Sajid translating to the success of Hamza, because in the previous years, although Hamza was good, he seems to be taking another level this season in particular, where he's actually one of the top tier players of the league.
Yeah, and so very well deserved. Oh, and by the way, you see, brother Ijaz Chaudhry also saying "Mashallah." He said it once in the beginning. He hasn't continuously said it, so I'm sure he's a proud papa. So I'm just telling you guys, he only said it once. He's not continuously saying it. We're just kind of putting it in here. So
and hopefully, it's a plug for him to come back, inshallah. Too.
You know what we need? Papa Bear and Baby Bear to play together on a team. I think that'd be really fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Oh, there we go. Here, see, now we got it twice. Jazba, you need to come back. We need to see you play with Hamza.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Is there anything else, Mobeen, you wanted to wrap up on?
No, well, congrats to all the winners for a phenomenal regular season. Just know that we've recognized your regular season performance, but there's one trophy and a couple of medals that everyone's going to be vying for starting this Friday. So may the best team win, and inshallah, play safe, play hard, play competitive, stay within that Muslim Brotherhood bond that Iceland tries to foster. And again, may the best team win. Good luck to everyone out there.
So I do want to point out one thing in terms of the logistics of how the awards will physically be sent out. So that's something that maybe we could touch on, Mobeen. From what I understand is that I will be, and I think Ahmed will be on site tomorrow to physically hand in the awards. So if the award winners could just, I guess, come see us, Mobeen, is that what we're planning on, or?
No, we're planning during the opening game dua. Just before that, we're going to hand out the awards during each game.
Okay. So in other words, the winners just come to us, and we'll just kind of do it that way then.
Indeed.
Right. When the both teams meet at the center ice, we'll give out the awards then.
And hopefully Arif can wear that helmet tomorrow too, if it's league approved, OBHA approved.
I don't think this is OBHA approved, although it's pretty.
As long as you got a visor and a chin strap, I think you should be fine.
If you're looking for a 50+ award, you're going to have to fight Habibi for it.
I think me and Ijaz have been fighting for the last. I'm tired of fighting with Ijaz. I'm done. He can take it.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And inshallah, playoffs start this Friday. So make sure everyone's there. And inshallah.
Please arrive on time, guys, because of the implications of extended times and stuff like that. The balls will drop at 8, 9, 10, and 11. So please make sure that you and your teammates are aware that all games will be starting on time.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Assalamualaikum.
This was fun. Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.